Why did we start making videos now? Well, I started jotting some things down, some thoughts that I was having, and yeah, we're going to share them. If you would have asked me 10 years ago, 5 years ago, even 2 years ago, would you ever make these kind of videos? I would have said just not in a million years. Not in a million years would I have ever thought about making these kind of videos. And really I just wanted to get away from the religion, decompress, really. Decompress, deprogram from everything I was brought up to believe, that I had begun to realize was a fallacy, just wasn't true. And it took time. It took time to build a new life, to make new friends, new connections. I'm still doing that. It took time to start to trust that I could trust people, that I could build real relationships and friendships, that people weren't just going to be using me, and all the terrible things that you hear about the world and how people are, and that you're just going to get chewed up and spit out. So it just really took time to unlearn and to be able to look at it again with fresh eyes, with a fresh perspective, and to see clearly the techniques that are employed by the governing body, the propaganda techniques. I didn't see those. Even when I left 10 years ago, I didn't see them. I believed it wasn't the truth, but I believed that, if you were to ask me about the governing body back then, I would have said that I believed that they were probably good men, just misguided, taking the Bible too literally. I would not have believed that they knew the things that they know, that I've come to find out about. And so my reasons for leaving had nothing to do with all the reasons that I would have now for leaving. So now I see things completely different. I see the techniques that are being used. I see how misleading they have been about things that they know, and providing half-truths and straw man arguments and all the different fallacies and ways of arguing that now you can see the same techniques that politicians use. It's the same thing. So time is what has changed us and me for wanting to make these videos, getting some time away from the religion. And it's taken time to, like I said, decompress and deprogram. So yeah, it was a very high stress situation being a witness. You're just stressed all the time. You take people in their real lives with their jobs and stressors that everybody faces, and stresses with your family that everybody faces. But then you add on top of that a religion that produces a sense of stress of you're not doing enough, you're not giving enough of your time and your energies to serving Jehovah, that no matter how much you're doing, you always were made to feel like you could do more. So it was a high stress situation being a witness. And, you know, I really don't feel a need to have to defend myself for why we're making videos. I'm just expressing why we're making these videos, but I really have no need to defend myself. That's one of the things that I let go of being a witness, because we were taught to always be able to make a defense of your faith. And in that, being prepared with the householder, with your coworkers, with your schoolmates to be able to make a defense of your faith, also came being able to having to make a defense of why you weren't at a meeting, why you weren't in field service. And so you always felt like you had to have an answer. You always had to give an answer to anyone asking. And I think that's a scripture, being able to give an answer. But, you know, that's an added stress too. And I realized that in my, even after 10 years, that I still feel that need to have to give an answer for what I'm doing in my life. And that is something that I'm learning to let go of, that I don't owe anybody an answer. You know, this is my life. Nobody else is living my life but me. And I don't owe anybody any explanations as to why I do or don't do what I do. If Jehovah is real, if God exists, then in the end, whatever that end may be, the end of my human life, the end of this world, whatever it may be, that will be the only person I have to answer to. And, you know, when I didn't leave cavalierly. I mean, I suffered greatly over that decision. It did not come lightly, and it took years to really come to terms that that was the decision that I had to make. If I was ever going to be happy in my life, that was a decision that I just had to make. So, you know, I wouldn't want anybody to think that I was just flippant about that decision. It was not an easy decision to make. So I don't feel like I need to explain myself to anyone or give anybody a reason, because this is my life. But I am going to explain, you know, I'm explaining, and we will continue to explain reasons why we left when we feel that we want to share those reasons with other people. And, you know, we found that through hearing other people's stories on YouTube, that it has helped us to heal in ways that we didn't even know needed to be healed. When we did our interview with Mike and Kim, you know, I was doing it mostly because my Mike wanted to do it, and I thought it might be interesting. But after that interview, I felt a lightness and just a release of some burden that I had been holding on to for a long time. I don't know. It's hard to explain how it made me feel, other than it was part of the healing process. And it made me realize that by doing our own videos, that we not only would be helping ourselves, but that we could actually help other people too, to heal those that need to be healed, those that want to be healed. Not everybody wants to leave the organization, and you know, for those people, if you're happy and it works for you, and do it, you know. What can I say? Just keep doing it. If it works for you, if it makes you happy, who am I to say? But I know that for most people doing it, most of the people that I knew and that I still know that are doing it, they're not happy. They're not happy. And not only are they not happy, but they are physically manifesting illnesses that I feel are a manifestation of this, you know, this dis-ease in their life. They're literally getting disease from the dis-ease. And I think that comes from cognitive dissonance, that deep down you feel something isn't right. You don't quite believe some of the things that you're taught. You don't agree with some of the stances that are taken about various issues, but yet you can't speak out against it. You can't disagree. Even if they change that thinking, even if they later on, turn around and say, oh, well, we weren't quite right about that. Of course, they'll never say they weren't quite right. They'll say that they got new light and a new understanding of something, but they'll never say that they were wrong. So I think that, just for example, I've known more witness women with fibromyalgia than I've ever met in the world. People in my family, close friends, that now have fibromyalgia. Now, I'm not saying everybody with fibromyalgia gets that. I don't want to start a controversy here, but I think that there's a connection. It just seems to me that there's a connection, and I do know a massage therapist who has recently come out of the organization and trying to fade as much as she can, and she still has a lot of witness clients, and she tells me they are the sickest people of all of her clients are the witness clients. And I asked her about the fibromyalgia thing, and she said, yeah, that is an epidemic in this religion. So here comes Zoe. Hi, Zoe. We're at the park today, so just wanted to jot down some thoughts. So, I needed time to unlearn what I had learned. I needed time to figure out how I really felt about the organization. Still figuring it out. Mike is looking at me because he didn't know I was going to start recording a video, so he's walking away. So yeah, I'm still figuring out how I feel about the organization, but we've been inspired by other videos, and so that's been part of our process of why we decided to start making our own. Now we've become more informed about what's going on within the organization, what changes are being made, and what activities are going on. We found out about the Royal Commission investigation down in Australia. We found out about Candace Conti, and so many other things that we're finding out about that, we can't sit idly by, we don't feel, and not say anything. So the JW broadcasting videos have been a real eye-opener. They're just so disturbing. And now that we've been away for so long and we can look at the organization through fresh eyes, really, we haven't, been vengeful, hate mongers since we've left. We've just tried to live a good life and to be happy and productive citizens, and we're not out to turn other people away, and we're still not out to turn other people away. If you're happy in it, then great, stay with it. This video isn't for you. And I'm not interested in a lot of things, so I don't watch those videos. There's millions and millions of videos, probably billions of videos, I'm assuming, maybe trillions on YouTube, and I'm not interested in most of the stuff that's out there, so I don't watch those videos. So I don't know why you're watching our video. If you don't like what we're saying, you're not going to stop us. We're going to keep making videos, and it's not going to stop us, and we're not going to be shamed by people either. It's not going to work. It just doesn't work. So, all these fear tactics that have been employed upon you, and you're trying to employ them upon us, and they're just not going to work. So, anyways, back to what I was saying, that now, we can see these witness videos that are coming out on the JW broadcasting. We see them with fresh eyes, and we don't have a filter over our eyes, a filter of everything that the Watchtower tells us. And without that filter over our eyes, we're really seeing clearly what's being said, what's the meaning of what's being said. It's not even so much of what's actually said sometimes it's what's not being said. I don't know if that makes any sense, but that we can see the more of the hidden meaning behind what's being said. Whereas some people might look at it who are not witnesses, and they may not, if they're not really paying attention, they may be like, oh, it's just another religious organization. Sorry about that. I forgot my tripod today, so I'm just holding this with my hand. But anyways, you know, they may not even see the actual meaning of what's being said, but when you've been in it and you know what the doctrines are, what the tenets of the religion are, how they feel about things, then you really start to understand what the point they're trying to make is. And you know, it's really disturbing. Some of these, it seems like propaganda to us, especially the videos that are directed towards young people and the cartoons. And this brings up the cartoon that was just released, the Sophia and Caleb cartoons. The one about little Sophia goes to school and she sees her friend has 2 mommies. And it's so disturbing to me the way that they presented this, the way that they presented how to deal with this. Because as a Jehovah's Witness child, it's a very stressful thing going to school. Because you are taught from infancy that you are different, that you are no part of the world, that you associate with these children in school, but you're not to associate with them outside of school, and that is your own personal territory, that you can reach these children where they can't be reached by anybody else, so that you must go out and preach to them. You must preach to them so that they are not destroyed at Armageddon, so that they can live in paradise with you and be, live forever and not be killed at Armageddon. So you have this added stress. You're not allowed to celebrate the holidays or participate in birthday celebrations. So, you get invited to birthday parties and you have to say no. Valentine's Day, you get all these little Valentine cards and they're so sweet. I remember getting them, and you couldn't reciprocate, you couldn't give any back. So there's all these added stresses of being made to feel different and that you don't fit in. And so then you add to that this video that is so disturbing to me. I know I keep saying disturbing, but that's truly, I mean, I've watched it now 3 or 4 times, and every time I watch it, I get more and more upset when I'm watching it, because now you're telling this child, okay, you already feel different, we're gonna add to that. You can't, just because the teacher says that, it's okay because as long as people love each other, that, people need to be happy and do what makes them happy. No. Now you've got to go to school, and where there wasn't a problem before between you and your little friend who has the gay parents, now there's a problem because they're different, and Jehovah's going to destroy their parents unless they change. And that was the biggest thing, that they were making it seem like this was a choice, that they were making a choice to be gay. That's just ridiculous. Nobody chooses to be gay. It's not an easy life. So to say, that basically you have to leave all of that behind as if it was baggage and choose to not be gay in order to inherit everlasting life. And so now she's going to go to school, and she's going to be telling her, she's got that added pressure of, oh, I've got to witness to her, I've got to tell her that her mommies have to change or Jehovah's going to destroy them at Armageddon. And so now I have that stress, and then I'm going to add that stress on to my friend, and now my friend is going to be upset because I'm saying that her mommies are going to be destroyed at Armageddon unless they change. So now she's not okay. There's something wrong with her. There's something wrong with her moms, and it just stirs up so much resentment. It stirs up conflict where there doesn't need to be conflict. Live and let live, man. Live and let live. So, when we see these videos, when we see these JW broadcasts that are just ridiculous, just so ridiculous. I really don't know how a thinking Christian Jehovah's Witness can look at these videos and not feel repulsed by some of the things that are being said, and not feel disturbed in themselves about some of these things. I just don't see it. They're just so thrilled to get these videos, and I don't understand it at all, really. But you know, as long as they're making these videos, we're gonna keep making ours, I think, because they're just motivation to us to say this isn't right and you're being duped. And if you would have asked me 12 years ago if I was being duped by this organization, I would have said absolutely not. I know exactly what they're about. I know that this is the truth. And I never would have believed that I could be duped. But I was duped. I can say that with all honesty. And yeah, so just trying to, you know, live an authentic life now and speak up when I see things that are not right, that I don't agree with. And part of that is speaking our truth about our experience and how we see things. And you know, everybody sees things differently, and that's okay too, you know. If you have a different opinion, that's okay too. You're entitled to your opinion, you're entitled to your beliefs, but so are we. So that's why we're making these videos. That's part of the reason anyways. So just wanted to make this little brief video and talk about that. Thanks for watching.